Probably just his compassion. Like, if you break down the things that he does in the stories, it's just because he has a compassion for the people. And yeah, if you look at, you know, so many examples, he just has such a heart for the people. And I long to be more like that. I do feel like I have a connection with my compassion side more than some people, but I mean, I would always strive for more, so his compassion, I'd say.
You know, his compassion, just the way he always had compassion on people. Not that I'm the most compassionate person, but I really want to be, and I try to be more compassionate. And a lot of times you know, when there's a part of me that just wants to rage or something against, because I felt like somebody did me wrong or they said some things to me that I didn't necessarily appreciate, I try to take a deep breath and think about, you know, how Jesus had compassion on people even at their worst. And so I try to be like that.
Humbleness, definitely humbleness. And why the reason is really basic. Some of my favorite people on the planet are humble people, you know. So it's just an attribute that I really admire and I aspire to be, and humbleness.
So I think it's really hard to completely identify with Jesus because he was perfect and we are not, and I definitely am not. I think so to be able to identify as a characteristic of him is actually tough, but what I can strive for is, and what I love about Jesus, well, other than everything, is his ability to forgive and obviously see the big picture, and he forgives, and I think that's something that all of us need to work on. Definitely me, on such a deep level, but also just being the kind. See, like this one, so kind. So forgiveness, but then also like just the integrity and his passion and doing what's right, and really also his selflessness. The selflessness is incredible, and I try to live that way every day, to be selfless and you know, bringing children into my home that aren't mine, 3 of them, and just like paying for the person behind me in Starbucks, or you know, just things like that. Just really constantly trying to be selfless, just like Jesus. But as far as like identifying with Jesus, it's really hard because I feel like he was perfect, and but we all we can do is try. So I would say forgiveness, selflessness, being kind and gentle and patient, and I'm definitely working on my patience.
The thing that I connect with the most with Jesus is just his resolve, his patience for everybody, his ability to hear people's hurt and their pain and really see it from their angle and not just always come at it with love and patience. His like ability to speak slowly but always lovingly is that's the characteristic, and those are the parts of him that I see in most of his stories that I really jive with. Nice. Yeah.
His grace, always his grace. That everybody was welcome to the table, everybody, you know, you just love people where they are. And, you know, try not to have a hierarchy of people. Try not to think of yourself as better than others, and try not to think of yourself as lesser than others. It's kind of your vision of yourself. And he didn't go to the Pharisees and say, hey, check me out, I'm God. You know, he wanted to come where the people were. And, you know, it even starts with the story of the shepherds being the first ones that the angels came to and told about his birth. You know, it's like, I want to reach everybody, not just those who think they're special. Yeah. So that was my favorite thing about him.
Probably just his patience. You can't always be prepared for everything, unfortunately. You know, there are some things in life that you're going to come across that you'll never, ever be prepared for. And it's easy just to let the little things and even the big things kind of add up. And then at the end of the day or at the end of the week, you're just so frustrated and angry or sad or all of the above. And really just being able to stay patient with God, with the people that you love, and even the people that you don't know very well. You know, just knowing that in a month or 3 months or even a year, everything's going to be okay. You know, you're going to feel better.
I feel like he's just like kind, you know? Like he's walking around and like everyone who comes up to him and talks to him and stuff, it's just like he just interacts with people in like a really kind way. He's never like short with people. Obviously people are following him around and constantly like bombarding him with questions and stuff, but he's always just like patient and kind. I feel like that I identify with that.
For me, it's his kindness. For some of the same reasons as below, but even with the disciples, when they didn't understand what he was doing and Peter denies him and he comes back and he, the following day, he reinstates him. He says, Peter, do you love me? Peter, do you love me? Peter, do you love me? He denied him 3 times and he gave him the opportunity to affirm it again. And it's just a way of seeing our needs and meeting them and being exceedingly kind.
I would like to identify with more of them. One of the ways that he shaped me even from the time I was a little kid, and I didn't grow up in a Christian home, I just got to know, you know, every once in a great while because of the way our culture is so heavily influenced by him, stories about him, and I was I would say, empathetic to a fault kid. I would feel hurt feelings for kids that I thought bad thoughts about even. They never even knew what I thought, but I still felt so bad for thinking that way, and I could feel my own feelings hurt as though someone was saying it about me. Yeah. And I really attribute that to, if nothing else, to the spirit of Christ in my life, even before I knew that he was a thing. So.
Well, I think he was so full of the love of God, and he tried to show people that the marginalized in the world are those that need help more than those who are doing well. So he went to the widows. He said, let the little children come to me. The lepers who are the outcasts, bring them in. The prostitute who's caught in prostitution, you know, let's forgive her. He's all about the people in the fringe that really are not in the center. And that characteristic of always inclusive, never exclusive has been a game changer for me. And it's one of the slogans I live by. Always inclusive, never exclusive. The nature of God is love, not justice, not trying to make everybody pay, but he accepts us just as we are.